on a practical level, because that's what's really important, right? For us as leaders on a practical level, that's what we want to make sure we share with you is when we're talking about, for example, diversity, right? On a practical level, well, what does that mean? That means that I got to care about you, Tommy. I got to care about your experiences. I got to care about your perspective. I got to care about your culture. I got to care about your family. Like I got to care on a deeper level about you as an individual beyond just the color of your skin.
Right.
Because you do bring a unique perspective and culture and experience, right? And that's going to help me grow. That's going to help me see the world in all its color, right? One of the things I know I've heard people say is like, oh, God is colorblind. And I'm like, no, God is not colorblind. He's colorful.
Yeah.
He's full of color.
Yeah.
And so we need to be reflective of that, right? We need to make sure that our organizations and how we lead is full of color, but not just because there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
Right? There's beauty in the individuals that come together, and together we build this organization. Together we move toward the vision, right? Together we carry the mission.
Yep.
That's the practical side of leadership, is you got to invite them into that.
And I think, but to be real, right? That's hard.
It is hard.
Especially coming from the paradigm of leadership that we're coming out of, and bringing this different thing. It's hard because couple things. One, it'll feel like you're moving really slow.
Oh, absolutely.
Comparatively to everybody else. But we are telling you from our experience, that's okay. You want to build the base, and you want to build the ship or the plane or whatever the analogy is. You build it well. And take the time to do that well based on values, not just on activity and leaves, right? You know what I mean? That's one of the things that we'd say. It's going to feel slow. It's going to feel inefficient.
Very.
Because it's like,
nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. Like, why do I have to know about this person? Why do I have to grow and learn about, different languages or cultures or whatever the thing is, or like who this person is or what they're carrying in? I mean, we have an example. We had someone that joined staff that was super hurt from the church.
Yeah.
But we recognized it. But they were such a gift that we're like, okay, that means that we actually have to spend extra time.
Yeah.
To care and listen and to not react in certain ways and to give space for things. And it was worth it.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, that person actually then eventually left our org.
Right.
But they didn't leave because we pushed them out, or they left because we blessed them out. We could see collectively together, hey, God has more for you.
Yeah.
And we're still really close, and it was beautiful.
We were able to be a place of healing for that individual, and the individual's super talented, and we would love to have kept them, but we recognize that that's all. Maybe that's who we were at the time. That's who God had called us to be for that individual.
Yeah,
is a place of healing, right? I think it was in Elijah, right? I call it the shade tree.
Oh yeah,
right. God allowed us to be a shade tree. For that person in this season. And so as a leader, that's tough too, because sometimes you get some very talented people and you just want to hang on to them.
Yep.
You're like, oh man, no, you don't want to go there. You don't want to do that. But the hardest thing that we do is to build people up, elevate them, and then let them go.
Let them go. And see, if you have this paradigm, that's a lot easier than like, oh man, you're disloyal. You stabbed me in the back. Like, look, all the things I did for you, and you're going to treat me like this. I don't carry any of that. I carry only like, I want to see you win. And if for a time that's here, we're going to do that together. And then when it's time, we're going to bless you out, or we're going to cheer you on. And then you don't burn bridges. Then God brings us back for other kingdom things later. Like it's such a beautiful way to lead. And yet so many leaders have never experienced this. Yeah. And so we know that it's going to feel like the pace is slow. We know it's going to feel inefficient. We know that it's going to be like, but here's the beautiful thing. Last thing we'll end on is that helps shape you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that puts the faith back onto God, going, look, I'm trying to do this in a different way. I'm trying to actually produce fruit, Lord, not just a bunch of leaves. And that actually has shaped me. The people that have come in and out of my life, it's been dynamic, not static. Yeah. Which is the thing that I hate, where it's like, I'm ministering to you right now, Robert, and I'm getting you like. No, it's dynamic. Like if I get to walk with you and pour into you, you also get to shape me. And that's been a gift. And if we're not receiving the gift of who people are, you're missing out on that.
I mean, that experience with our employee changed me forever.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's cool.
Like it changed me in a really, really deep way because it forced me to get out of my normal paradigm and see through somebody else's lens. And when I did that, man, the Holy Spirit really convicted me about a lot of things in my own life, right? And so from that point forward, I really feel like it grew me as a leader, and I'm able to see things differently. Like I feel more intentional about really caring and being curious about people than I was even before that experience.
So, and I want to point this out, man, as we wrap, because what's really beautiful about that, man, is I know one, it wasn't easy because I was with you on that. It was hard. It was like, dude, the personalities were so different, the gift sets and all that. And we all had to walk through that together. But what I love about you sharing that is that, you know, you had the humility to do that later in life. You have a lot of experience. You have a lot of knowledge. And so you could have easily been like, no, you're wrong. You know, like I
often do.
Yeah. Just do it the way I want to do it. But you were open to that. And then to be blessed by that, right?
Yeah.
Is huge. And that's like, why wouldn't leaders want this? And I think the reason is because it's scary. It feels a lot better to have all the leaves than to be kind of bare with less leaves, but at least you got fruit. You got some figs on that. And the temple and the things, the structures you build is actually facilitating towards God's presence.